everyone, it is April and today I have a spooky book haul for you. Most of these are thrillers, but I do have some horror books that I wanted to share with you. I've got 8. Let's dive into my little thrillery spooky book haul. So we've got a mix here. Some of these are thrifted, some of these have been sent to me from publishers, and then I have went and bought things on Book Depository and Chapters, and you know how it goes. So let's start with thrillers and move our way ever so closely to the more terrifying end of the spectrum. First is the latest book to come out from Nikki French. This is What to Do When Someone Dies. Now I will say this was published many years ago and they have been redoing the covers and republishing their books. And I really like their new covers. I just think they look great. And I want to collect all of their books because they're so fantastic. This book follows Ellie. Her husband dies very suddenly in a horrific car accident. She's devastated, as you can imagine. She's even more devastated when you find out that this man was not alone. There was a passenger with him who also died. Her name was Melina Livingston. Ellie didn't know her. Ellie's like, who is this woman? And soon she's starting to wonder if her husband had been cheating on her with this Melina woman. And then as she uncovers her husband's secrets, she discovers that there might be something even more sinister going on. Ah, so good. Let's read the first line of What to Do When Someone Lies. Dies, not lies. Well, probably also lies. Chapter 1. Moments when your life changes. There will always be a before and an after, separated perhaps by a knock at the door. That's a 5-star first line. Draws you in right away. We're starting out so well. I can't wait to read this. Next is a beautiful book. Oh my goodness. I got this Book Depository order. It came in yesterday. This is Mrs. England by Stacey Halls. You guys know how much I love Stacey Halls. I've read both of her other books and I knew I wanted to read her latest, but it wasn't coming out in Canada or the US. Like, there was no date in any way, shape, or form. Maybe it hasn't been picked up over here. So I was like, well, I cannot wait. So I bought it from Book Depository. So Mrs. England is a gothic tale. It takes place in 1904 and we follow a nurse named Ruby. She is hired to take care of the England's children. So she arrives, it is a beautiful home. The kids are super cute. And then she meets Mrs. England, and Mrs. England doesn't really want to have anything to do with her children. She's not really interested in her husband, and she just seems off, very, very distant. And Ruby is questioning that. At the same time, she has her own past to contend with. Her sister has stopped writing her about news from home, and she's seeing this family that looks perfect from the outside but clearly is not so perfect, and she has to look at the history and secrets in her own past, which also stem from a not so perfect family. So I think these two things intertwine and I cannot wait. It is such a beautiful, beautiful cover. Oh, I couldn't believe it. And the end papers? Hello. Okay, Mrs. England for the win. Let's read the first line. The woods at night were far from silent. Okay, I love that first line. I would give it like a 4. 4 stars. Yes? What do we think? It looks so good. Next, I've got 3 kind of detective inspector books for you here. This first one was heavily influenced by Grace over at GK Reads and also Jen Campbell. Jen and I feel like a bunch of people have been probably looking far and wide for a replacement, probably not the right word, something to fill that terrible spot, empty spot in our hearts that the Frida Klein series by Nikki French has left behind. So she seemed to really like this series, and so did Grace. This is The Last Place You Look by Kristen Lipionka. I think I'm saying her name wrong, and I apologize for that. So this series follows Roxanne. She's an inspector, and we meet her taking on a case where a woman has gone missing. She was actually a teenager, Sarah Cook. She disappeared 15 years ago, and the same day that she disappeared, her parents were found brutally murdered in their home. So Sarah's black boyfriend at the time was quickly the suspect. He's in prison. He is awaiting death row. And so that man's name is Brad. And Brad's sister just does not in any way, shape, or form believe that Brad did this horrible thing. And she hires our Roxanne to look into this cold case. Roxanne herself has a lot of history in her past that she's trying to, grapple with. Her father recently died. He was a cop. And she starts also looking at her father's unsolved murder cases. So I think past and present all merged together. It's meant to be really, really good. So let's read the first line of The Last Place You Look. 1. Matt said you find things for a living, the woman said on the phone. I like it. Not a 5-star first line, I would say. Next is the latest in the Jackson Brodie series by Kate Atkinson. This is Big Sky. I have all of the Jackson Brodie series on my shelves, which I'm really thrilled about, but I haven't read any of them. That said, I was at a Value Village, saw this, and knew I had to pick it up so that whole series will be complete. I love Kate Atkinson's writing. I would be so shocked if I didn't like this book, the whole series, to be honest. I don't really want to know too much about this going into it, so I'm not going to read the back to you. I apologize. And I'm also not going to read the first line because it's a later part of the series. You guys hopefully can understand. Follows Jackson Brodie. The last of the detective-y books that I picked up is Hercule Poirot's Christmas. And I thought I would read this at Christmas. I have only heard lovely things about this. I've only read Murder on the Orient Express in the Hercule Poirot world, and it was good. I think I might prefer her standalones. That said, I just think this is a lovely little thing to tuck into in the winter months leading up to Christmas. So this follows a family. It's Christmas Eve. The Lee family have all gathered together to celebrate. And unfortunately, upstairs, I believe there's this big crash that goes on. Furniture is being thrown about. They run upstairs. Someone has screamed as well. And Simon Lee lies in a pool of blood and his throat is slashed. So Hercule Poirot agrees to come in and investigate, and when he gets there, the family don't seem to be sad in any way, shape, or form, but they are all suspicious in their own ways. And it just sounds like a lot of fun. So let's read the first line. December 22nd. Stephen pulled up the collar of his coat as he walked briskly along the platform. Not a 5-star first line. Okay, so now we are moving into the horror side of things. We're gonna get really creepy, really scary. And we're starting out with one of the most terrifying, if not the most terrifying cover I've ever seen. This was kindly sent to me by Nightfire and is coming out in October. It's nothing but blackened teeth. Will you look at that? Okay. Oh, That's terrifying. Oh my God. This follows a group of friends who are thrill seekers. And so I guess two of these friends decide to get married at a haunted house. Now, get this. The haunted house is an Heian era mansion. It's abandoned, and its foundations are resting on the bones of a bride, and its walls are packed with the remains of the girls sacrificed to keep her company. I think the ghosts come out to play. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be so much fun. It's only 100 pages, just over 100 pages. So that sounds good to me. I'm in. So let's read the first line of Nothing But Blackened Teeth. Amazing cover, amazing title. Okay, chapter 1. Oh, how the F are you this rich? Fun first line. I wouldn't say it's a 5-star one, and they use the full word instead of just F, you know. Next is my most anticipated book of the year. I'm finally hauling it for you guys. This is The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I love Grady Hendrix so much. I think Stephanie over at Books in the Freezer has recently interviewed Grady, talking about some fun horror books, and I really need to listen to her podcast because I love Grady so much. So the Final Girl Support Group follows final girls. We meet them when they are a little bit older. Each and every one of them has survived one massacre or another, and we're the last one standing, hence the term Final Girl. And they have really been there for one another all of these years. However, someone is seeking out these final girls, and I think they are intimidating them in one way or another. I'm assuming it's going to get more and more violent as time goes on. So I literally cannot wait to read this. Like, I just feel so lucky. Okay, let's read the first line. I wake up, get out of bed, say good morning to my plant, unwrap a protein bar, and drink a liter of bottled water. It's not a 5-star first line, but like I got so excited doing that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's in my hands. Are you gonna read it? I love him. Okay, last is a book I picked up at a thrift store. This was, again, at Value Village. I was right in the middle of reading The Changeling by Victor LaValle, which I was really enjoying at the time and did enjoy in the end. And then I saw Big Machine by Victor LaValle on the shelves at Value Village, so I thought, I gotta get that. So this follows a man named Ricky Rice. He is kind of down on his luck. He's had a really hard life. He is currently kind of scraping by as a porter at a bus depot in New York. And he also is the survivor of a suicide cult. So he's trying to get by, and then one day he receives a mysterious letter that asks him to join a band of paranormal investigators, all of which are former addicts and criminals. And all of them at one point in their lives have heard what may have been the voice of God. That it just sounds really interesting. And Victor is a great writer. I really love his tone, and you know, for horror he writes, I don't want to say horror is beautiful, because can horror be beautiful? Maybe it can. If horror can be beautiful, Victor LaValle does it. So let's read the first line. Don't look for dignity in public bathrooms. I really love that. I like that a lot. Maybe a 4-star first line, verging on 5. But I think the ultimate 5-star first line was from What to Do When Someone Dies. So those are all of the books. All of the thrillery, creepy, just give you shivers, leave the lights on at night books that I have picked up recently. Let me know in the comments below if you've picked anything up lately that you're excited to read that's gonna spook you out. I just love to be scared. It's like an adrenaline rush or something. I don't know. My version of that, at least. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will chat with you very soon. Bye!